Vision boards, vision boards, vision boards, vision boards. Everyone is making his own aesthetic board. Everyone knows what to do. Everyone knows everything except you. What is a vision board? Does it actually have impacts on our lives? How can we put goals? And most importantly, how can we stick to them? Congratulations, you've landed on the perfect video to help you get the best out of your potential in the new year. Hi, I'm Randa, a content creator from Gaza, educating people about civilians' life here while reflecting on my self-growth journey. So, subscribe and click on the notification bell to see more, and let's get into it. Wait, before starting, I know you'd be saying like, Randa, you're too late. We're 2 weeks into January. Well, that is the point. You need to understand that you absolutely never have to wait for the perfect time to start. The beginning of the year, the 1st of January, the 1st of the next month. Never. You could start on unaesthetic days like 13th of January, 15th of September, whatever. Understand my point? Okay, continue watching. Okay, before moving to vision boards, how to actually do it, how to set a goal, we need to know, is it actually scientifically proven to work out? Or to be that important? Well, neuroscience has its own facts about it. Hear me out. They found out that your brain treats images like actual experiences. So, when you look at an image on your vision board, your virtual brain and planning brain activate as if you're actually seeing and preparing for it. Insane, right? Another one. Images that inspires you or excite you triggers the emotional centers in brain, which make those goals meaningful and easier to remember. Visualizing success triggers reward signals. That future reward helps you keep motivated to work towards it. And the most shocking fact that I am sure you have experienced without a vision board even. You know this thing when you're on the phone and you're thinking like, okay, I need to get a food for my cat, and suddenly all the ads or the posts you see on your social media are related to cats and cats' food. This is insane, right? Well, the brain has its own work. Thinking about something or seeing something constantly makes your brain looking for constant opportunities to serve the image you have in mind. So if the constant image in your mind is a successful job that pays well, your brain would be always looking for opportunities for potential places that you could work at, which would help you get closer to where you want to be. And that is exactly what we want. But how do we actually make goals? I don't know what I want to do in life. Well, I got you. Now, I see life has 4 main sectors. Now, those could vary from a person to another, but for me, these are the standards. Number 1, we have the spiritual sector. Whether you are a believer or not, we as humans need to have a spiritual connection with something bigger than us. So if you're a believer, you could write goals that brings you closer to your religion, and if you're not, you could take this opportunity to discover your way out. Sector number 2, health and fitness. Now imagine you have a bodyguard and you don't pay him well. Would you expect him to serve you in the best way possible? Absolutely not. Now this is how we should treat our bodies. Instead of paying, we need to take care of it health-wise and fitness-wise. Now moving to number 3, educational or self-development. Now if you're a student, your main focus must be taking care of your studies. And if you're not a student, you should take this opportunity to actually dive into those wide range of skills, habits, sports, anything basically to learn something new. Why is that important? Because our brain actually grows whenever we learn something new. So learning new things constantly helps the brain to make and connect new wires, which would make your way of thinking definitely better. If you're a student, you could make time for that too. And last but not least, financial or career side. If you have a job, you could plan more on investments, savings, and arrange regular spending. And if you don't, you have to be mainly focused on finding one. at first. Okay, now I know the 4 important aspects of life. Now, how can I put a real goal? We've all have been through this experience where we would write a goal for the year and then the end of the year we did nothing. And this goal would be moving with us until each new year we enter. Well, that was my case until I learned how to make SMART goals. Hear me out. Now, SMART stands out for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and most importantly, time-bound. You can be saying, I want to play more sports, but you can't say, I will walk for 30 minutes every day. Now, that is specific. You can be saying, I'm reading books this year. However, you could say, I'm reading 2 pages a day. Well, that's measurable. There is something we usually fall for, which is making things unrealistic. Like people would say, I want to run a marathon the first month. However, they had never gone for a walk for 30 minutes. For example, you could start by, I'm running 2 kilometers twice a week. And the next month, you'd be adding this number, leveling it up. That way, at the end of the year, you'd be able to run a marathon. Now that is achievable. Now you have to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what are you interested in? If you're interested in traveling, for example, around the world, you would definitely need to learn English because that's relevant with your goal on the long term. When you travel abroad, you'd have a way of communication with other people. And this is important to be applied to all of your goals. Now, last but not least, you can't be saying, I'm learning this course this year. Okay, when? It has to be time-bound. You could be saying, for example, I'm learning for this course this month. I'm giving it 2 hours a day. So now, it has a time, it is achievable, it is relevant with your dreams, it is specific, you're specifically calling this course, and most importantly, it is measurable. So at the end of the month, you could track your habits and see, oh, I missed one day, so the course isn't really, this goal isn't complete. Oh, I've attended all my classes. That means I am successfully done with this goal. Now that you know how brain interacts with vision boards, what are the main sectors of life that you could work on, and how to write a SMART goal, now we have to make space for how to make the vision board. Finally! Now, people choose to make their vision boards on various scales. Some would like to make it on great canvases, some would make just a little cardboard, and some, as for me, I really, like to make it on my journal. I have put the pictures 2 pages beside each other on my journal. Now, if you have a room, I do not. If you have a room and if you have a house, it would be really great if you'd just make like a picture frame of all those pictures you'd like to see of your future self. So you would see it every single day. You'd be truly motivated once you wake up and see it just before your head. But if you don't like anyone to see it, just put it in my journal like this. Now, a lot of people, I see them doing it the wrong way when they just uploading each photo on a separate page when they print it. Now, my perfectionism can never. So I made a PDF file on Canva where you can just take photos, drag them and let them on the frame. So all your photos would be at the same page, and that would be easier for you to cut them later in the process. You could find the link for this PDF in the description below where you could absolutely edit it with your own version. For example, if you're looking for a healthy lifestyle, you could write that on the search bar and see loads of pictures that are at the same niche. You're just gonna upload it and then, as I told you, drag it into the file in the description below on Canva, and there you have it. Your file is ready. For me personally, I also like to add motivational quotes. So you could write, for example, perfectionism motivational quotes and upload a photo, drag it, and there you have it. Simple and easy. And now the photos of the file, I adjusted to be suitable for notebooks. So when I cut the photos, it won't be like big. But of course, if you're making it on a canvas or in a photo frame, you could adjust those sizes to match your preference. For me, I had this done with a meeting with my friend here in Gaza, and I really enjoyed the process. We were giggling or like enjoying the process, enjoying the experience, sharing each other's future perspective and whatsoever. So if you have a like-minded friend, that would be an absolute amazing experience. Okay, now you've made your vision board all aesthetic, all great, looking absolutely amazing, but how can you even start? Okay, I understand the sectors, I understand how to make goals, I made my vision board, but how to actually track this into the whole year? I got you! Listen up! Now, this is the vision board. On the very next page, we're gonna write all things that we put on this board. For example, I'll put photos for someone playing sport, healthy food, wanting to travel, the 100k YouTube button, etc. So now I'm gonna write all things here on the next page. After that, I'm gonna do the most important step, dividing them, the near future or on the long-term future. Now there are some things I've put, for example, on this page that I see them on the long-term future. I'd like to be coordinating with the UN, for example, or have a TED Talk. But I don't see myself doing these activities in this year, but I've put them here because I'd like to see them constantly. So later on, I would still have this as a memory in my journal. So now, after that, you've divided your goals by long-term and near future, and there would be some things in the middle. For example, for me, I want to travel, but this, I can't truly decide if it's on the near future or on the long term because it is connected with my geographical terms. The borders are closed. Would they open? When? Well? How? I don't know anything. So this comes in the middle term. I don't know. I'm hoping for it, but I'm not sure. Now, all things that are in the middle, you have no control over. Things that are out of your capabilities. Just put them there to clear your mind about them. Now, the long-term goals, we're not gonna touch them also because what are we gonna do? However, the near future, those are where we actually would go to work. For example, here, I'm writing 1K on YouTube, Instagram, Quran, journaling, Spanish. Now, each of those, I'm gonna write under them steps that would make me get closer to those. For example, for playing sports, I want it to be a habit into my life. So what I did is I said I'm going to do this 3 days a week. Okay, but 3 days are confusing. Choose specific days. For example, I choose Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. That is great. That is specific. That is achievable. That is relevant. Okay, but I'm not going for a gym. I'm doing it at home. How can I make this easier for myself? So when I get up on Monday, I would finish this task and not leave it behind. I said, I'm gonna download videos about those sports. For example, I'm playing cardio the day before. I'll be downloading the cardio video to play the next morning. So see this process? This is what we had discussed earlier, but now we are actually doing it. Okay, another one. For example, I aim for 100K on YouTube. Well, do I control this? Absolutely not. But what could possibly bring me closer to this goal? So I wrote, for example, to upload a video a week. I'm not going for a maximum. I'm being realistic. If I said 3 videos a week for the whole year, that is unrealistic. That is completely unachievable for me because preparing, writing, filming, editing, they all take time. So I'm really realistic with myself. So I said a video a week. That is great. I can do that. Also, I would schedule these videos work around the week. A day for editing, a day for writing, a day for filming. Now I know how to make my goals achievable and what would bring me closer to them. Now the most fun part is I made my own monthly calendar and the most important goals to achieve on those month or habit I wrote every day. For example, on Thursday I have to upload the YouTube, read Quran, journal. That's it. We don't have to make those long to-do lists for the day. We don't have to be busy all the time. It is completely okay to have only 3 tasks to focus on. Now this is a great way to track yourself. You could do basic trackers like those, but I personally liked this way because I would be seeing each day of my month. Okay, last but not least, something I really would like to do, I haven't absolutely done before, which is one line for each day of the month. I failed at writing today, and that's fine. I mean, I tried. I wanted to make writing as a habit for me, but I didn't do it correctly. And that is completely okay. All day doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, failing means you even tried. And that's completely great. Now, this is how I journaled for the first of the year, how I planned, made my vision board. Now you have all my secrets. And I feel it would be so great if we made, like, for example, a monthly video or a live to track our things, our habits, our goals together. That would be amazing. You could join my Instagram podcast channel to discuss more about these topics. And this was our video for today. Hope you learned something from it. Subscribe for more like these from Gaza. See you soon. YouTube says you'd like these too.